the space is becoming competitive. They are now asking you. Imagine doing interview, they'll be asking a doctor, what do you bring to the table? I'm like, you're asking a doctor, what do I bring to the table? If you one year, it's before it's not that specialty they used to ask. How you be asking a doctor, asking a nurse, asking a radiographer, what do you bring to the table? Am I not in demand? Am I not in demand again? Why are you gonna ask me that type of question? But now my data already asking. They will ask you after spending 6 years, what do you bring to the table? Yes. So you tell them what you bring to the table. All the things you'll be doing in medical school. So now it's not about who graduates to first class. It is somebody that have things to offer. So ask yourself, what do you actually bring to the table that other doctors did not bring? The space is becoming really competitive. So you have to make yourself competitive as well. So one thing I will tell you guys is, in the pursuit of our medical degree or medical journey, in as much as healthcare will always be in demand, we have some specialty that is not and will not be in demand, and that's what I will call specialty. Something that is special. That means what? It is always in request. Not like rare cases, in not so common cases. Let's take for example, in a hospital setting, like let's just say somebody just have billions of dollars, they decide to build like maybe 1,000 bed hospital. How many doctors would that hospital employ? How many nurses would that hospital employ? How many medical lab would that hospital employ? How many other health professionals would that hospital employ? So if you're able to figure this out in your head, then you're able to understand better what I'm actually trying to say. So the thing is, for example, in a 1,000 bed hospital, in as much as WHO actually has their standard of, what standard of WHO? I think I've forgotten, but I know WHO has standard of how many patients to doctors, how many nurses to patients, something like that. So this scenario is depending on the country, depending on the healthcare system, because we have some healthcare system that they actually don't really follow WHO. Like they'll give you more patients to nurses, or they'll give more, something like that, right? So in real sense, what I'm trying to say is, sometimes when we go online, when we make research, high specialty, it is easy to actually long for and opt for higher specialty. But in real sense, how many of these higher specialty are actually in demand? How many of them? Or another example is, imagine comparing a neurosurgeon, for example, a neurosurgeon versus a cardiologist. Which one do you think we see job easier? Obviously a cardiologist, because the thing is, we have more people that has more heart problems than brain problem. Because the thing is, before is actually in use, it's easy for you to see somebody with heart attack, stroke, arrhythmia, anything heart. That one you will get it like his 30% population. But brain, before somebody really have brain problem, it's not something that people actually have brain problem. You understand what I'm saying? But it's not as if it's something that is everyday. Another example is comparing an OB/GYN doctor to a neurosurgeon. Look at it now, the gap is far. OB/GYN, every time women get pregnant every day, women will have hormonal balance. Somebody will have ovarian cyst. This one will have PCOS. This one, you see that in that type of scenario, the OB/GYN, they will always get job. In fact, they cannot escape it. And somebody is delivering, another couple, they're already doing knack. Before you know, this one, they are getting married. OB/GYN will always be in demand. But then compared to neurosurgeon, if you don't have accidents, if God is always on your side, what to make somebody to just go to neurosurgery? This is not me saying we still have people that actually need neurologists or anything, but trying to compare the job market between OB/GYN and neurosurgeon. But in real sense, neurosurgeon, they actually earn more than OB/GYN. For example, in US now, neurosurgeon, they earn like 750K per year minimum or starting salary after residency, whereas OB/GYN, I think they earn around 350K, 400K. So in real sense, normal, you'll be tempted to be a neurosurgeon. But the thing is, after your residency, right, which one would actually give you that job easier or faster? Because the thing is, even in Nigeria, you can actually handpick how many neurosurgeons we have in Nigeria. You can handpick them, but you cannot count how many OB1G doctors we have. In fact, most hospitals in Nigeria now, most private hospitals in Nigeria, they are OB1G. They don't even do family visits. OB1G, because women will always have problem with. They will have more issue with the abdominal area. Is it that you are doing this one? OB1G will always be in demand. But in a if you count some generation, they never have any what's it called, brain anything. If you don't have accident, or maybe village people are villagers, I'm just saying this one is always like in rare cases, right? But the thing is, once they have their case, they'll make their money. But OB1G, they're always in demand. This is me just saying. The another example I'll give is comparing a nurse and a radiographer. It's not the same. For example, if a billionaire actually decides to actually build a 1,000 bed hospital, he might actually employ maybe just like 2 or 3 doctors. It will actually it can actually employ up to 20 or 25 nurses, or even 30 nurses, and then it might just have just 1 or 2 radiographer, and it might not even have employ a radiographer, because it is actually he is actually running a hospital. If you actually need the patient to actually do radiography, what will the hospital do? They'll just write to referrer and refer the patient to a medical lab that actually have X-ray. You see, that way, 1 radiographer is jobless. He's now jobless. Or 2 radiographer is jobless. The other one is medical lab. So this is why I actually used to tell people, if you've not started medical school, if you're planning to start anything, the first thing is know your final destination before you actually know your bus stop. Because sometimes it's easy for us to see these numbers online. Oh, these people are earning this game. But the thing is, what is the job market? What is the job? Even doctors now, even doctors, we now compete for job. So for now for doctors to get job in some countries, you have to make yourself competitive. You have to do this, do research, do clinical, do camera. So you're a doctor, no low, shaking why? Doctor, no low, shaking. And that's because it's really becoming oversaturated. Everyone wants to become a doctor. Everyone wants to become a this. So the thing is, I'm not making this video to discourage any field from the other. Don't do this or anything. But what I'm trying to say is, you have to be really, you have to make yourself very, very competitive and different from your others. Know that medical field is not the medical field we used to know those times that once we finish, they will just rush you. Yes, they will rush you. But then now, you have to make yourself competitive. You know, now, what people actually believe in is nurses are always in demand. But do you know that there are 1,000,001 hospitals in this world, even in USA, that they will not employ you just because you don't even have 1 year post experience? Do you know that? Gone are the days that as you finish nursing school like this, they'll just rush you before you even do your final exam. They'll come and say, just come. But now, hospitals will be telling you, we need 1 year experience, we need 2 years experience, we need 2 years experience. Gone are those days, because now we have a lot of people coming into this space. So even for example now in UK, before you finish writing your PLAB 2 exam, you've gotten a job as a doctor. But now, it will be as if you will be sending CVs. You'll be, is it not? He passed this doctor job. Doctors now are now competing for job. You will send CV, and then the employer, even private hospital inside UK, they'll be telling you, I cannot employ you. You need 2 years postgraduate experience. And you'll be like, I thought doctors are in demand. Yes, they are in demand, but they are still selective. So this means telling you, before you start your medical school, as you're in medical school, make sure you make yourself competitive. And as you're trying to make yourself competitive, make sure it is streamlined to your final destination. Because now, even for UK foundation year, they'll tell you, before they will take it to foundation year, you have to have done this research, done this clinical. They will not ask you for. So hospitals are not settling for the barest minimum. They are trying to go for the best of the best of the best of the best of the best. They are not competing with the world. I hope you understand that. So this is me telling you, if you find yourself, you want to come into the medical specialty, and that just because you actually feel like, oh man, healthcare is always in demand. Yes, there is no lie about that. Healthcare will always be in demand. Doctors will always be in demand. Nurses are always, but now it's becoming really competitive. You have to make your CV competitive as well. If there's any conference you can go for, yeah, go for the conference. If there's any quiz, if there's any scholarship. When I was in medical school, I used to be all this reserved academic introvert. The only thing I focused on was building my GP. If they said there's presentation, I ran away. If they said there was this one, I ran away. If they said the clinical, but then coming into this research place, making research and everything, I realized that my academic GP is just one of the factors. It's just one of it. You have to work on other areas of your life. Volunteer work, competition, this one, even if it is a certificate of participation that they give you, my dear, collect it. Collect it and add it to your CV. At least now you are better than somebody that does not have certificate of participation. So this is me telling you, it is becoming very, very competitive. A whole lot of pay. Do you know how many doctors match to US every year? Do you know how many doctors don't match? And then we are still have people that are still coming. Do you know how many of them? Russia and last one, do you know how many people they used to import, like export every year as doctors every year? They are competing with the whole world. So try to make yourself competitive. Healthcare is not the healthcare it used to be. It is now very competitive. So this is me telling you, before you start your medical or healthcare or any course that is relating to you that you want to pursue, first of all, check the school. Are you guys gonna give us internship or not? Is it coming with internship? Have I have to find the internship myself? If they say find it yourself, my dear, carry your money and find another school or find another country. It is always better and sweeter if the school is going to make arrangements for your internship or your clinical experience. Because trust me, if the school is not providing you with clinical experience, anything that will make you leave that country with your degree and come back to another place, you're gonna see shege. You're gonna see something. Another example is people that actually go to, like, for example, Philippines or India to actually study nursing. The thing is, after you study your nursing there, even if you write your NCLEX exam, even if you pass, if there's anything like first class NCLEX, there is no organization in US that will actually recruit you without at least 1 year postgraduate experience as a nurse. As a nurse, you've passed your NCLEX, you have your degree, but you don't have experience. They will not recruit you. But then what we all see on Google, on the general spaces, nurses are in demand, nurses are in there. Nobody is talking about the real requirements. The real shege you're gonna see. Nobody is talking about it. But then this is me telling you. So if you know you want to go and study outside the country and you don't have interest coming back to Nigeria to get your experience or coming back to your home country, make sure the school you're going to, firstly, they will allow you to write their professional exam, or they will give you clinical experience that you can actually add to your CV. Don't just jump and say nurses are in demand. And nurses are in demand, you graduate and can nowhere to get your experience. And aside that, we have other countries that actually offer easy experience, like if you want to actually study for nurses, right? And again, another thing is, like I said, this video is about oversaturated medical specialty. Like I said, for example, I just made an example, like imagine a billionaire that actually wants to build a 1,000 bed hospital, comparing the ratio of doctors to nurses to radiographers to other allied health medical professional is going to recruit. You see that it is kind of very slim. So before you actually dive right into the medical field, be sure of the job market, especially of the country you're going to. And not just that, be sure of the requirement to actually practice in your country of destination. And not just that, the exam requirements and school accreditation. Like I've made some example. For example, a radiographer. If you've studied radiography in Nigeria, You can move to UK without writing an exam, or move to Ireland or any of these countries without writing exam, but you cannot do same in USA. They will tell you, this your degree, it's not in our list, so you have to start all over. But then some schools might be nice enough, they'll just do credit some of your courses. So are you ready to spend another year in radiography school? So that's why I used to tell people, before you start your journey in life, it is not about who first enters school. It is not about I got admission, I'm clinical. Ask yourself, what is your future plan? What is your final destination? Where do I see myself working? So after you've not think it, then you not think it back that it's like this, because it not actually make sense spending the years of experience and then you find out that you aren't getting me. So somehow the medical field is kind of becoming oversaturated. So this is me telling you, if you're interested to come into the medical field, my dear, you are welcome. We welcome you with our full chest. But get ready, be prepared to be competitive. Do not settle for the barest minimum. Don't just focus on just academics. Don't just focus on, well, let me just pass. Now, it's not the survival of the fittest. Still, he's the survivor. Now, boss with the guy. So, and then another thing is, medical field is becoming oversaturated. There are some jobs, there are some specialty in the past that they were in high demand. Now, if they give me those specialty, if they said I dash you come work for you, I no go take them, because after my residency, I am not going to get a job. And then talking for another example is, there are actually some jobs that can look like they're in demand. They are available for residency, but they are not available for after residency job. So these are the things you have to factor in. But the funny thing is, when you go on job website, when you see this specialty, you will see big salary. You will see 400, 500. You say, okay, go to this specialty. After your 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 years residency, then you start looking for a job. A doctor is jobless? Yes, a doctor is jobless. So you have to dot your I, cross your T's. There's some specialty that a few years ago they were really in demand. Few years after, they are no longer in demand. They no longer right? They're no longer. So don't say the sense that you have. That's why it's always good to actually update your brain, update your sense. Like as you're in medical school, you see that your plan that you've planned out here every single year. Be going, wait, this my plan. Is it still standing? I mean, they've updated. Even medical councils, they update their profile, they update their requirement, they change it, they edit it, they do this one. So always edit your plan, because things are really changing. People are really moving in. People are want job security. People are really moving into this space, right? So you have to make yourself competitive. The space is becoming oversaturated. So if you're going to be opting for a specialty, opting for any medical field, make sure it's something that it is forever. There is nothing like forever. See, it is now actually learned that there is nothing that is really forever when it comes to job, because how many are we in this world? We are like billions or trillions. Imagine they almost half population trying to say they want to be a doctor, they want to be a this, they want to be a clinical, they want to be a that. So there's nothing that actually really actually lasts forever. So you just have to put yourself in that space, check your timeline, check your this. For example, you can say, oh, I want to be a radiologist, and then before you finish your 6 years medical school, radiology is already oversaturated. No be only you want money now. No be only you. And do you know, after your 6 years, that your 6 year in medical school, you see that year you are graduating, do you know how many people are graduating with you that actually want to be a radiologist as well? Do you know the qualifications that those people have? How many space are you actually competing for as a radiologist? At least in the hospital, in a standard hospital, at least 1 or 2 radiologists is fine. Because they are not the main this thing. So maybe 1 or 2 radiologists, this one will work in the morning, this one will work in the evening. And the thing is, it is not all hospitals that actually need radiologists. Some, they'll just tell you to go and do x-ray, they'll refer you to a radiologist. And again, in some countries, we have some countries that they do gbogbo lushe. For example, in Nigeria now, the doctor is the physician, is the OB1G, is the radiologist, is the this one, is the medical lab, gbogbo lushe ni one. So check the country you are going. If the country is gbogbo lushe country, or is country that actually used to separate or segregate. In some countries, they refer family medicine and emergency medicine. They see them as 2 in 1. In some countries, they see them as separate. So imagine targeting a country that they see family medicine and emergency as 2 in 1. And then you say, no, it's emergency medicine, you want to work. You see that you already hang, you're already work. So that is what I actually used to tell people. Before you start your immigration pathway, know your final destination. So when you actually know your final destination, that is where you now start looking for relevant bus stop to help you to get to that final destination. And as you are looking for that final as you're looking for that bus stop and you're getting that bus stop, make sure that every seconds, so the every seconds that I mean in real sense is maybe every 3 months, every 6 months, every 1 year, make sure to update that your plan. Check website, make research, and be sure that this plan is still valid. Anything can change. Tomorrow can come. Imagine 6 countries that they are banning us now. For example, yeah, I know it can't point. Imagine US just say, sorry, Nigerians, you can't come to US again. Sorry, stay in your country. And then you've planned your life and map out and take USMLE and work in US. What's your plan B? What are you gonna do? Imagine you're already in your 6th year. You've taken up to step 3 exam. What is your plan B? So that's why it's always important to have your planning, because you are not God. It is only God that know what can happen tomorrow. So just plan. In case UK, you say this one say they're not okay or well, you enter UK. In case this one say, oh yeah, we'll go this one. So it's important to have as many plans, as much as you want, and make sure to try to be a very, very competitive applicant, because trust me, the space is becoming competitive. They are now asking you. Imagine doing interview, they'll be asking a doctor, what do you bring to the table? I'm like, you're asking a doctor, what do I bring to the table? It's before it's all that specialty they used to ask. How you be asking a doctor, asking a nurse, asking a radiographer, what do you bring to the table? Am I not in demand? Am I not in demand again? Why are you gonna ask me that type of question? But now my data already asking. They will ask you after spending 6 years, what do you bring to the table? Yes. So you tell them what you bring to the table. All the things you'll be doing in medical school. So now it's not about who graduates with first class. It is somebody that have things to offer. So ask yourself, what do you actually bring to the table that other doctors did not bring? The space is becoming really competitive. So you have to make yourself competitive as well. So that's what I thought to come and share with you guys today. And thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye for now.